we only do here at NewsNation, and I think it's the best thing that we do, which is begging members of Congress to come on with members of the other party and discuss a topic. And we got it. Tennessee, Democrat, member of Congress, Steve Cohen. Florida, Republican, member of Congress, Mike Haradopoulos. And I am going to unite you guys, okay? Here's how I'm going to unite, okay? By saying this. Is this situation proof that Congress just sucks at its job? And why do you suck at your jobs so suckily that we find ourselves in this situation? I go to you first, Mr. Cohen.
Well, first, I'm going to say I'm better than you are in bringing us together. I'm in the most famous Greek restaurant in America, the Rendezvous, in a back office, Charlie Ferguson's Rendezvous. But besides that,
really?
I don't think Congress sucks. I'm not going to demean the group I've been in for 19, 20 years, and I'm proud of my role as a legislator. And we each have individual responsibilities to represent our district and our values. Sometimes we don't get accomplished because of the two-party system. We have differences, and that's to be expected. It's not like it used to be when people got together because they lived in Washington. There are a lot of changes with the media, with social media, with people getting TikToks or ticks or whatever, and clicks and all that stuff. And so some of the people that are most outrageous get more recognition because they get a lot of notoriety. And
Agreed.
That's not the best way to do it. They're not the best legislators.
Agreed. But, Mike, this seems like this is not a shutdown type of fight that you have here. This is about how much money goes to the people who are on Medicaid to pay for the tax cuts. And there's got to be a deal here, you know? And why does it have to be about illegals and trans? That's not what it's about. It's about how much money, who's going to pay for the tax cuts? Why not just make the deal instead of all of this?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on again, Chris. Great to see you again, and great to see my friend from Tennessee as well. I think what's important here is that we have the opportunity to do what's called the clean CR. During the Biden administration, 13 times Democrats said, let's do a clean CR, and they wanted to move forward. Let's do the same thing. We're getting closer to get all 12 appropriation bills passed. We've actually passed them out each one of the committees in the House of Representatives. We're saying we have a clean CR, keep funding as is, and let's keep the government open. And one of the reasons I really want to get into is not into the illegal alien issue is this. We're on a pretty good move right now economically. You just saw the numbers, 3.8% increase in our economy. It's a good sign. We see interest rates finally coming down. We see stability finally, of course, on inflation. These are all good signs. We have a record stock market. Most people have 401ks now. They're good. Let's just work together. Let's keep the government open at least another 7 weeks and see if we can hammer out one of these deals instead of playing chicken. I could not agree with you more, Chris. And that's why in the House of Representatives, we passed the bill last week to say we're going to keep the government open for at least 7 weeks. Nothing changes. We keep the current budget in place.
So a clean CR for you guys at home. It's a continuing resolution. It means we can't pass a full budget. So we're just going to keep it the way it was the last time we passed one, which was also a CR, and let's not make any adjustments. The problem is, Steve, you guys believe adjustments have to be made so there's not an inequitable situation here about who pays for the tax cuts. But it does raise the question, why are you guys doing CRs in the first place? Why can't you just pass a budget like you're supposed to in the Constitution?
Well, it's been a problem for quite a while. This year's the most serious ever. The last time the Democrats in the House, and I was with them, voted not to pass the budget that the Republicans proposed. But then Chuck Schumer said he was going to not be for shutting down the government, and he thought it was a mistake. And I backed Chuck on that. I'm in the House, he's in the Senate, but I thought it was the right thing to do. Well, we had the Republicans come and support President Trump's rescissions of $9 billion that we had passed together on foreign aid, on USAID, on public broadcasting. And those were issues that we were all agreed on. And we let Trump do it just out of nowhere. He comes, takes congressional action and repeals it. $9 billion. They'll do it again. And we've had enough of it. And Chuck Schumer's right to hold the Democrats in the Senate together. The Democrats in the House are supportive because we don't trust Trump, and we shouldn't. He's never shown himself to be trustworthy in the budget. He's taking every power he can from Congress, and Mike Johnson's letting him do it. So we are, if you're a Republican, you don't have any power, I think, because Trump's dictating it, but at least you're getting the things that you more or less agree with in. But if you're a Democrat, you're being totally shut out. And it's a disgrace to Thomas Jefferson and the people and James Madison. Everybody had to do with the Constitution.
Steve, look, I think you have high ground on the Medicaid cuts, and I don't believe the new work requirements. I think they're punitive. I don't think that that's a waste, fraud, and abuse thing. But do you think your party can take a shutdown that people will know came because really?
I think the people want to see us stand up to Trump. Trump's popularity is raised down to about 35%, I think, and the Democrats need to stand up and show we've got to take him on. And that's one way to show we'll take him on, and not just to accept him bully us. He refuses to meet with Schumer and Hakeem. Every president met with the opposition leader in the past years. Trump's the first one not to do it. He's not the king. He doesn't realize he's not the king, but he's not the king, and we're not going to be vassals.
Mike, do you think this comes to a shutdown? I'll give you the last word about what do you think determines it?
Well, look, I don't want to shut down. This isn't about Trump. This is about the people of the United States of America. Keep the government open. Let's keep moving in the right direction. You have a group of extreme left-wingers who want to shut it down to stand up for Trump. Who gives a dark about that? What matters is smart policy. And we're having some good economic results here. People want to play politics with other people's lives. All a clean CR is very simple. You described it well, Chris. It continues the path we're on now. And it's a lot to do with the old budget, by the way, the budget that the Biden folks passed. And finally, let me say one more thing, because I think the idea about the $7 billion, remember, that was a lot of the USAID. No one would have ever passed that USAID stuff had they actually seen where the money was going. We finally got the transparency in Washington. We saw the money was going to some, let's just say, nefarious places. And we said, we're going to rescind that spending. That's common sense. And so what we're doing now is also saying, let's take a few more weeks to work together and maybe we can strike a deal. It doesn't do anyone any benefit to send people home who are going to be paid anyway when they open the government back up. It's common sense to just move forward and try to work together instead of playing this game of chicken, which I'm a new guy in Congress. I've not been there for 20 years. In Florida, we actually balance budgets. We need to do that more in Washington, D.C., and it's the reason I ran for Congress.
Well, that's because your state and a lot of other states have laws that say you have to, or you can't go home. You guys don't have that. But you know, the president just said. The president just said he may fire federal workers if there's a shutdown. And if he does that, there's a price tag on this move. Fellas, I got to jump, but I would like to invite you back next week before it happens to see what the state of play is. Steve, you want?
Chris, treat me. I know we're friends, but you don't treat me like you treated Dr. Oz. I thought y'all were going to embrace each other last night.
I've had, first of all, Steve, I have had more personal conversations with you than probably any member of Congress. But you and I have a long history.
You were all over Oz. I thought I was going to see a marriage take place.
Listen, I also said that the president did not say what the research says about Tylenol and got into it with Oz. I'm sure he's upset about it. But I've known him since I was 15 years old. I like him. It doesn't mean I like everything he does in government, but I'm not going to fake animus. You know me, everybody. Even you get that, Mike.
I got you.
And you're Greek. No, I'm kidding you. You might be the best-looking Greek man I've ever seen in my life, by the way. I want you to know that, Harold. You're not a pretty people, but you may be the best example of your kind. The poor man's Italians, they call the Greeks. Who I don't know who that is, but I like
Hey, look, I'm married to an Italian proudly. So thanks, Chris. Let's have this debate. I'm looking forward to it next week. Let's get together and talk about how we keep the government open.
Especially when it's mostly MAGA folks and voters who are going to be affected by these cuts. But it's good to have you here, Mike. Steve, always a pleasure. I love you. You're great. If I saw you right now, I'd grab your face. I'd give you both kisses. Like that. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Today, Trump said it was looking